Hi, and welcome to Diversity in the Community. I am so excited, as I was about a year ago, to have a young man with me that I've known since he was a child. And he's been so inspiring to me. He's an artist, and you just won't believe his story. But I am so pleased to have on Win TV again Mr. Benford Dwight Stellmacher Jr. Welcome to the program, honey.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here.
I know you are because so many things have happened since the last time
It truly has.
you were here. You want to talk about a little bit about the last time you were here? You were having a display over at the Windsor Art Center.
Correct.
What has happened since you were here last time?
So since then, I had the second layer art exhibit at the Windsor Art Center, and I actually, and I'll tie it all together, but I had the opportunity to have an exhibit in Atlanta, Georgia in January at the Southwest Art Center. And that was the very first, well, no, actually that was the second. So I've also had another solo exhibition back home in Newport News, The Weight of My Faith. And I woke up, and I want to start like this. So I woke up one morning and I was scrolling through Facebook and scrolling through my phone, and I saw Jill Scott had just announced her tour dates, right? And I grabbed my laptop and I created this graphic of myself, and I took a skyline city background, put it in the background, and I said, what's the difference between me and Jill Scott, right? Or Kevin Hart or whoever.
Yeah, right.
And I started putting down cities that I want to go to take the Weight of My Faith tour on. And I said, because I don't want to experience the world. I want the world to experience me.
Right.
And so I was just like, and it was funny because I was just doing that for myself from like a vision standpoint.
Yeah, right.
And so many people started commenting on like, you better put Charlotte on there, you better put Brooklyn on there. I was just like, this is for me, this ain't for y'all. But it caught fire. And so I literally, so I did Atlanta in January, and they extended the art exhibit until the end of Black History Month.
Oh,
and
my God.
literally, from then, I have an exhibit coming up in Glen Allen, Virginia in July, and I have this one here now, and this exhibit will be up from April 15th to June 30th. So it'll be up for 3 months.
Oh my God.
But then I'm working with a fellow alumni of mine from Hampton University. So I actually have another solo exhibition in Chattanooga, Tennessee.
Oh my
in
God.
September. And
Oh my God.
That'll be my first time visiting Tennessee, and it's so exciting because it's at the extension of The Weight of My Faith.
Oh, and the weight of your faith is heavy duty. I'm telling you, because I remember the story you're telling, you told us about, it was because your wife wanted you to do a paint and sip, and you didn't even want to do it.
Correct.
And that's how it all kind of pretty much started,
Correct.
right?
Yeah, and so the collective piece of that is, my wife wanted me to do a paint and sip, but there was also, in collaboration with that, there was a prophetic word from my pastors,
Right.
that my pastor had told me that God wanted to do with me what he did with Beyonce and Destiny's Child. And he was pulling me out because I had my own graphic design business. And so with that, it literally, and as far as I was concerned, she had lost her mind because I was going to be doing that graphic design business until Jesus came back. I was doing logos and T-shirts and everything like that. But I got to a point one day, and me and my business partner sat down and we talked about it, and I told him, I said, I'm not that type of person. I will never live my life with regrets.
Right.
But I never want to be sitting there like, what if?
What if?
Right?
Yeah.
So I've always, and there was so much I learned in that process because all of my life I had been comparing my creativity to everybody else. Like I would always tell everybody else how great their stuff was, but I never took the time to bet on me, right, for myself.
Right.
And so that's what ended up happening, and I had this moment that really meant the world to me. I was riding in my truck, and Authentic DNA, the tagline for the apparel line was "Be the you that you're designed to be. Be authentic," right? And God was like, that was always all about you finding your identity and you evolving into becoming BD Stellmacher in these conversations.
Yeah.
So like I truly believe, God, that I found my niche, you know, and operating in it. And I tell people all the time, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'd rather be doing something believing God than just sitting there doing nothing.
Yes, my God. There was a statement that you had, and I wrote it down. Something about not knowing how it's going to end, but all he wants you to do is start.
Correct.
Could you say that? I wrote it, but I can't
So I
find
don't
it
remember
now.
exactly what I said,
Yeah, I was trying
but
to find it.
it's really, and I go back to this, it's all about simple acts of obedience, right? And so for me, success is not how much money I got in the bank. Success is not how many exhibits that I do. For me, my success is completely contingent upon my simple act of obedience, which is me creating. That's what I was designed to do. I'm a creator, right? So I always think about Noah. So think about the relationship of Noah and being able, and I always do this, like I do this little skit like with the kids from my youth ministry, but I'm like, just imagine the conversation between Noah and God. And God is like, no, I need you to build an ark. A what? Right? It's going to rain. What's rain?
What's rain?
But now I want to take it a step further. You can't even tell me how tall a giraffe is right now without going to Google.
Right.
You can't tell me how much a hippopotamus weighs.
Right.
You can't tell me the width of a lion.
Right.
But he had to get all of those specific instructions from God to know how to build this ark.
Right.
But him just doing it, and at the extension, so his success was when he obeyed God.
Right.
But now when you flip it, it now becomes, because he obeyed God, mankind was saved.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So my question to people always is this: it's not just about what God is asking you to do, but what is on the other side of your obedience that God wants to manifest.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
So.
Oh, yes. I think I found it here. Never concern yourself how you finish, but always make sure you start.
And so me and my old business partner, we used to have this saying, anything plus a zero is a plus.
Yes.
And so a lot of times people are just like, well, but anything that you add to a zero, it's a plus, right? So I don't care if you do one push-up, you did something.
You did something.
Don't just, you can hypothesize until you are blue in the face. And for me, kind of segue, that's what the weight of my faith is about. The weight of my faith is about not just talking about what you believe, but there has to be a corresponding action to what you believe.
Right.
So can I read this?
Oh yeah, sure,
So
of course.
I wrote this statement, and it says, you can tell me what you believe until you're blue in the face. However, we are all familiar with the term that actions speak louder than words. The dream in your heart will stay there until you take the necessary measures to make it a reality. It is through this aesthetic narrative of conversations that I hope to inspire you to take one step forward towards that dream without fear or hesitation. You are already equipped by your divine design to accomplish what has already been predestined for your life.
Wow.
So
Powerful.
that's all I want people to know. Like I'm no different than you, than anybody else. The only difference is I'm doing something.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be a big something, a small something, a medium something, but there has to be, it's like I always tell people, you could tell me you believe in toothpaste, but you got to squeeze it out of that tube and apply it to your teeth.
Right.
You know, if you want to see the results from
Exactly.
it. So once again, I think we've been kind of overwhelmed by a society of where people are, hey, how many likes did I get? Right?
Yes.
How many views did it get?
Yeah.
But here's my reality. Whether I get one like or one view, that's not my measure of success. The measure of my
Exactly.
success is I created the content and I uploaded it
Yeah.
because I believe that's what I'm supposed to be doing.
Right, right,
I believe that I'm supposed to be creating, so I go and buy canvases from Michael's and I paint whatever I'm inspired to paint and I
Right.
post it on my site.
right,
Whether it sells today or 3 years from now, that means nothing to me. But guess what? I did what I believed in my heart to do.
right.
And that's what I want to inspire and encourage people to do.
And you were saying one time that God just moved onto you on your heart to just paint. He'll do the he'll make
he'll
sure
do
that
the
they
rest.
sold. You said I don't worry about stuff selling. And there's been things that you put out before you even finished it and it was sold.
And it literally, my wife was watching me paint one day, and it was a piece I was working on called The Long Journey Home. And she asked me, she was like, how do you know how to do this? And I said, I don't have a clue.
Right,
I
right.
literally, I just go with the flow, and there are times where I'll put down a background, I'll walk away, go in the kitchen, and come back, and I'll see something in
Yeah.
it, and then I let it evolve, and I build on it. But to your point of what you just said, there was one time I literally finished a piece, and this is my process. I'll finish painting a piece, I'll post it on Facebook, and then the girl reached out to me and she said, "How much is that piece?" I said, "This number." She said, "Send me the invoice."
Oh
And
my
I was
God.
like, so like stuff does not even have time to marinate on the website
Right.
before I'm sending out the
Right,
invoice.
right.
So it's been so surreal for me just to
Yes.
see
The
what God
weight
is
of
doing.
your faith, but that's your faith.
But and for me, that's literally, I tell people all the time, I never want to be able to point the finger at myself. Like, I literally want to be able to say, hey, you know what? This could not have transpired if it had not been for God.
Yeah.
For me, that's my testimony. That's my door. Like, I'm that person where I'm like, no, I don't believe in the universe. I believe in the God of the universe, right? Because that's who orchestrates everything that transpires in my life. You know what I mean? So
And you've only been painting for, well, the last time you was on here, you just had been painting for 2 years.
like literally, I started painting from the painting set. It was the end of 2018. And so from the end of 2018, 2019, I was just painting, playing around. It was 2020 that right before COVID hit, I was supposed to have, me and my business partner, we were supposed to have an exhibit in March, but it got canceled and I had to refund over 100 tickets, over $2,000 worth of, but it was the best thing that happened. And literally, when I tell you all things work out together for your good, like
Yeah.
I believe that.
Yeah.
Like you can't. If this happened, I can find a positive in it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right.
And even though I was just like, oh my gosh, I would not have been charging what I charged for my pieces.
Right.
I would have been underselling myself.
Yeah.
One lady told me one time she saw the prices of my artwork and she was like, thank you so much for valuing this investment. And I was
Yeah.
like, wow. Because like I just want people to know, like, no, I'm not Target, I'm not a Ross, I'm not a Home Goods. You're talking about original artwork that you will
Exactly.
never see in
Exactly.
somebody else's house.
Right, right.
You know, and that's kind of why I stray away from doing limited edition prints. Right, there are some pieces that I do want to do a limited edition print of, but I want, if you buy a piece and it's hanging in your house, I want you to have the joy, the pride of knowing that there will never be somebody to come into your house and be like,
I got that.
girl, I got that same picture. No, that's not going to happen.
That's funny.
You know,
Now tell me something. How did you come up with the idea of it's like a conversation piece? I mean, and people can finish it off in any way you started, and then somebody could say whatever else they want on the end of it. You know how you start like a story or a sentence or
well, so no, so that's not the case. So what happens is you'll notice the conversations that I write out and basically on Facebook, when I end it with the ... it's not designed that ... is left up to you.
Okay.
That ... flows into the title.
Oh, okay.
So
Okay.
when you read
Okay.
when you read out the story, it's like this. So I did a piece called "Fragile Yet Fearless," right? And it was a grandmother, and this is actually on display. It's going to be on display at
That the woman with
the
the
boxing
boxes. Oh,
gloves.
I love that. I love
So
that.
so the whole idea was, this is a woman who has been in this country, who has basically worked her behind off all her life to acquire the things that she has, but because she's elderly now, she's fragile, but she still will ball up her fist and give you the business if you try to take anything from her. And so at the end of the conversation, I basically say that, like, even though she may have age and have wisdom and experience, she still has no problem balling up her fist because because she is fragile yet fearless.
Okay. All
So
right.
every single conversation, and that's what I provide on. I provide every conversation with a conversation card to
Okay.
where I write out that conversation so
Okay.
that people are not left to their own interpretations. Because
Okay. All
like you
right.
might get a picture and it being in your house and you be like, yeah, see the moon was like a black butterfly on during the solar eclipse. No, we're not going there. No, I'm gonna tell you exactly what it's about, the year it was made, and
Stop making me
everything.
laugh.
Because some people can just be at their house and just make up anything. They'd
Hey,
be like,
right.
"You see that little butterfly in the corner?" But like, no, there's no
No.
butterfly
No.
nowhere in the corner. I'd be like, "Oh my
Oh
goodness!"
God Almighty. Okay, I'm
Yeah.
glad. I'm glad you. I'm glad you straightened that
So
out.
if you go back and look now, you'll
Uh-huh.
see that is the whole, what I call a dialogue that leads into and what I basically wrap up into a conversation.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I saw the one that you did of Maya Angelou.
Yep, Mama Maya.
Yeah, that one sold before you even finished it. Good, right? That sold
Well, no,
quickly.
so I literally I had painted that and I was on a train up to New York and I posted it, and when I posted it, the lady reached out to me and she was like, I want that picture. And I sent her the
Wow.
invoice, and so that's being prepared to go to Montgomery, Alabama.
Oh
And
my God.
the funny thing is I want to get me a map so that I can start pinning
Pinning where?
everywhere
Oh
that
my
I've
goodness.
shipped to. Because I've shipped pieces out to Alaska. I've shipped pieces to, it's been Tennessee, Chicago,
Wow.
Atlanta, Delaware. So yeah, I've literally been doing an East Coast tour, and I'm about to start working on a body of work to where I want to start submitting proposals to museums and galleries
Oh, okay.
of just new things. 'Cause
Yeah.
right now I have over 150 originals in the storage unit back home in Newport
Oh
News.
my God. And you said that I think 30 or so of them that you're going to display at the
Yeah, it's
upcoming.
34. It's
We've seen
34.
we
So
haven't seen the
yeah,
any of these.
there's only one piece that was here from the second layer exhibit, but the other 33 are brand new pieces that have not been. If you haven't seen them online, you haven't seen them here in the state of Connecticut.
Oh, okay.
Yep. So I
And
just finished laying it out yesterday.
and you added a new piece to it. I don't know if that was just something special for a couple of times or whatever, but you did the puzzle.
Yes.
Can you talk about that?
Yep. So I woke up one morning and I had a lady, I call her my sister now, but her name is Michelle Risby, and she had liked like 30 of my posts on
Yeah.
Instagram.
Yeah.
And I sent her a DM and I was like, hi, I was just wondering, how she had found out about me, what have you. And she was like, oh my God, I love your work. And so
Yeah.
like literally what she has done, she has taken, we've done with one and I'm in the process of doing a couple more, but she took one of the puzzles and she's now created them into, one of the conversations and created them into puzzles. And so she sells them on her website.
Really?
Yeah, and so now, and the reason why I did the puzzles was because I wanted to keep with the brand of conversations to where people can still sit around and engage in conversations
Right,
about
right.
the conversation,
Okay,
right?
all right.
So the one that she has done is called Inseparable, and it basically talked about, and I'm gonna take you back. So it's called Inseparable, and it's two boys kind of just walking off into the distance with their arm around each other. But um, the thing that I always loved about that picture, it kind of reminded me of me and Chris, right? And being inseparable. And then when you think about like me, Chris, and Tylon growing up, how we was the three amigos,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But it linked to, even though we was the three amigos, we would get together just to fight and fuss, right? But we loved
In
going,
love.
yeah.
In
But
love.
we loved going over each other's house. But being able to tell your child and doing the puzzle about your cousins or your siblings
Yeah,
and that
yeah,
relationship,
yeah.
because right now what I'm finding is you don't have a lot of those conversations going on anymore. You know what I'm saying? There's not a lot of wisdom being imparted. There's not
Yeah.
a lot of legacy.
Yeah.
There's not, and it's because, of course, everybody's living on their phones,
Yeah.
and different
Yeah.
things like that. But it just becomes a thing where I want younger people and older people to be able to glean from experiences, right? It's not about you being older and you think you know it all because you're 70, 65, whatever. And it's not about that child being 18 and dumb as a bag of rocks,
Right.
Because there's something that they can bring to the table for you, but you can also learn from them,
Right.
So it's creating that conversation, that dialogue to just reinstitute it into the family.
Yeah. Because I'm telling you, when you were here last time, and I think I told you, that you inspired me so much to keep moving, to keep pushing. Because, when you're doing something for so long, even with me doing, this, I've been doing it since 2008, and you feel like you kind of kind of fizzling out. But it was your inspiration, just keep going, because to me, this is like ministry.
Yeah.
Because
yeah.
I try to, not that people come on and talk about religion or anything, but spreading positive information. And when you talked about that, and then you talked about your days of being in school and the struggles and how you want to help young people, because you knew the struggle it was for you.
Correct.
That you want to help young people to be able to not have to worry about that. If they got a gift, to be able to do something with that gift and not worry about how I'm going to get the money for it. But you were so inspiring, and I'm not an emotional person, but that day when you were talking, I had my little tissue. You almost made me cry. Just such an inspiring person, and you could see the weight of your faith, because like you said, you've only been painting a few years, and every time you turn around, your stuff is being sold, and people are talking about it, and
Correct.
It's amazing.
And I think that's the biggest part of it, because it's not about. It goes back to the comparison factor, right? So for me, I'm just a bald-headed black guy, out here painting, doing. You know me. I've been painting ever since not painting. I've been drawing ever since Cornwall Street on the back pews, drawing Snoopy and Garfield and stuff like that.
Since you were a baby.
But my thing becomes this. This is the catch. We do ourselves a disservice by disqualifying ourselves.
Yeah.
Right, which is a form of self-sabotage.
Right.
Right. What says that? Let's just take a John Biggers or a Charles White or a Ernie Barnes.
Yeah.
There's nothing that says they're better than me. There's nothing that says I'm better than them. We all have our own authenticity, our own blueprint that's designed to impact the world. But if we never take the time to realize and then recognize that and then act on it, then the world is what suffers, right? So I just have this mentality that's like, and like I was telling you the other day, like I can remember you playing songs and the jingles and just all your creativity, but even in this, my thing is, number one, in the church and in the body of Christ, the world has to be able to see something different, right? So what does it look like to the world to be looking at the body of Christ like, they look just like us, they all downtrodden just like this, they raggedy just like us.
Right.
There's nothing inviting about that. But if you can see something about my life and experience something through my life that now is like, hey, I want to know something about you, right? And it might not start off with God, right? You might not start off a conversation with me about God, but let me tell you how it's going to end.
Yeah.
Right? It's going to end with God. I don't care how it starts. We could be talking about the carpet.
Yeah.
But that carpet conversation
Gonna
through
end
that
up.
thread of redemption is going to end with God, right?
Right,
There's going to be
exactly,
something
exactly.
that now pulls it through because number one, people are hurting.
Yeah.
People are discouraged.
Yeah.
People are they're tired. People
Yeah.
are tired, right? And so for me, when somebody sees a conversation, when somebody has a conversation, I'll tell you this. I had a conversation with a young lady that I went to school with. She had been battling depression for years,
Yeah.
right? And I saw a post that she posted, and I sent her a text, and I said, "Call me." And it was I had just posted a conversation online, and she had commented. She was like, "I promise you, I think that we're in sync because every time I turn around, you're talking about something that I'm dealing with,
Yeah.
right?" And so, and I told her this. I said, "You know what? I am tired of you dealing with depression." I said, I'm tired of it." And I asked her, I said, "What's the root of it?" We talked, and I prayed with her. And she said like she hadn't been able to sleep. And I told her, I said, "I declare in the name of Jesus that you will have supernatural rest in your soul, in your mind, and in your emotions." She sent me a text the next day, and she said that is the first time that she has slept for 8 hours in I don't know how many years.
Wow.
Now, for me, that's an experience,
Yeah.
right? So, but guess what? That came at the extent of a conversation, right? So that door, so you don't know what doors of ministry in witnessing
Yeah.
are designed at the extent of your gift and your talent.
Yeah.
But here we are, and it's called marketplace ministry. We sit up here expecting people to come to the church. Everybody ain't coming through them doors.
Right. Exactly.
But guess what? I'm going to take the church
Yeah. Yeah.
to the world
Yeah.
to say, let me tell you about a man named Jesus,
Yeah.
right? Let me
Yeah.
tell you how he delivered me, how
Yeah.
he healed me,
Yeah.
how he transformed my life.
Yeah.
But sometimes I compare it to a blow pop. You got to unwrap the blow pop and you got to crack through that shell to get to the gum.
Yes.
But now here's the thing. People have to taste your Christ
Yeah.
before they get to that experience. And a lot of times we're like, you need to come to church. You need to do this. No, you don't.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's, to me, that's the evolution of the process. But if I can have meaningful conversations, number one, just to let you know, I care about you. Number two, I hear you. Number three, you know what? I used to be a hoe too. You know, but now you, oh my God, you a hoe, you going to hell.
Yeah. Right.
Wait a minute.
Right.
You know,
Right.
Christ didn't do that with you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He
Right.
saw the best in you, thought the best in you, and still died for you when you was yet a sinner.
Yeah.
So now why do you get to be up on this high horse that now says, hey, you need to get your life right? No, you still need to get your life right. You ain't got to no particular mountaintop that you get to look down on nobody. You know what I mean? So it's for me, it's just I want people when we talk about life, right? Living and experiencing this life in abundance to the full, till it overflows.
Yeah.
It's not just for you. Like I
It's
want
right.
my life to spill out and impact
Right.
other people. I
Right.
want it to inspire other people. I want it to influence other people because I want them to know that there's a life that you get to live
Yes.
outside. Now, I'm this person. If my life is raggedy, you don't got to listen to nothing that I'm saying.
Right.
You're not going to go to a 400-pound person talking about hey, I want you to train me in the gym.
Right.
Because there are no results that you see.
Right. Exactly.
But you're going to look for somebody that has results in their lives.
Yeah.
And that's what I tell young people. I'm just like, hey, now if I don't have no fruit, then you don't have to take the seed that I'm giving you.
Exactly.
But if you see fruit hanging from my life,
Right.
there should be some light bulb that says, there's something about what
it.
he's
Yeah,
saying.
right.
There's something about what he's teaching us that now I can get
Yeah.
a different result in my life.
Yeah.
But once again, that's your choice. I respect your choice. I don't have to agree with your choice,
Right. Right.
but I can respect your choice and I can still love you in
Right.
spite of your choice.
Yes. Yes. Oh, wonderful. Oh my God. Ministry.
Correct.
Now, upcoming, we're coming to the big opening reception at the, I want to talk about this, the Weight of Faith solo exhibition. First of all, I always say, I just keep saying I love the title because it just so fits in to everything you say. It's the weight of your faith. It's all about faith in God just proving himself to you over and over and over again. So this is going to be April 15th. Your display is going to be up from April 15th to June 30th, but the open reception is going to be on the 15th at from 4 to 7.
Correct.
Yeah, we're going to be there.
Yep.
And it's going to be at the, how do you say, Echo Space?
Yep, the 224 Eco Space on
Eco
Farmington.
Space.
Yep,
Okay, Farmington Avenue.
224 Farmington Avenue.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Yep.
And I just can't wait to get there. So will people be able to buy stuff on the spot? They'll take the stuff out? No, or the stuff just going to stay up there?
So the way that it works, so there are a couple of pieces there that are not for sale, that are there for display only, but really there's only 2 that are there that are not for sale. So 2 are a part of me and my wife's private collection.
Okay.
But that'll be marked not for sale, but everything else will be for sale.
Mm-hmm.
But you'll be able to contact Andre Rochester for if you want to purchase a piece.
Okay.
And they'll send you an invoice. But when you purchase, the pieces have to stay up for the full extension of the exhibit. So basically when I come back at the end of June, whatever pieces have been sold, I'll either be coordinating with the people that have purchased to be able to provide and deliver their stuff, or I'll either be taking it back to Virginia and shipping it off. But it will have to stay up in the eco space from April 15th to June 30th.
Okay. Now, you're having something else too that's going to be online that has to do with this too, right? I thought I saw something.
So it doesn't have to do with this. A young lady from Delta Sigma Theta reached out to me, and they're hosting basically I forget the title of it, but it's their like their arts and letters program or something of that nature, to where they're doing a Zoom kind of like a artist talk with me prior to the opening reception from 2 to 4 that you can register for. And it's on my business Facebook.
But that's page. Only for them. That's not for.
No, anybody can register.
Oh, anybody can register.
Anybody can register. So the link is on my personal page of Benford Dwight Stellmacher Jr. and on my BD Stellmacher Facebook page. But you can click on that link, that Zoom link, and register for it to be able to join in and hear conversations, between me and whoever's going to be hosting it.
Oh, okay. All right. One other question is, I know, like you said, you're not selling yourself cheap, and that's wonderful. I love it. What happens when somebody come and they see something they really want it? Do they make payments on it? How does that work? Or do they?
So right now I have done payment plans with people. It's not something that I offer publicly.
Exactly. Okay.
Just because.
Right.
Not
it's
dealing with the headache.
Too much. Yeah, exactly. I understand.
The way I'm a businessman, right? And so I have an art inventory system. I have an invoice system. So for me, if somebody sees something that they like, this is the price for it. I send you the invoice. You can pay with credit card. You can pay, you can, and this is what I kind of tell people. I prefer for people to pay up front. Now, granted, I get people's financial situations, and for me, depending on the piece and as well as depending upon the situation, I usually lean more towards you can make the payment to your credit card.
Exactly.
After you make my full payment.
That's
what
true.
I mean?
Yes, that's true.
So that way, because I don't want to have to keep managing, well, I got to send Teresa her invoice at the end of the month.
I hear you.
And then waiting for you to pay that at the end of the month. I understand, there are certain situations, but that's just how I operate right now.
Now, some of your favorite pieces, are they ever going to end up like on the front of shirts or
No.
anything else? Never. Okay.
No, so I do not want to commercialize
Okay.
what I consider to be commercializing my artwork. So you will never see my conversations on a mug, on a pillow, on a T-shirt, or anything like that.
Okay.
The brand that I'm creating for myself and for the conversations, I want it to be physical, tangible, hanging on walls
Okay.
or in museums or
Okay.
galleries for exhibiting. Like, because to be honest with you, I love being able. Let's talk about Michelle Obama, right?
Mm-hmm.
And her book, right?
Mm-hmm.
And her book tour.
Mm-hmm.
I love being able to go to different cities and having these types of conversations and artist talks with people.
Right.
So me being able to go to Tennessee, I am so excited about going to Tennessee.
I know you
You know,
are.
and just seeing a different group of people, and I love seeing people, and that's why I can't wait for Saturday, just to see people experience the conversations
Yeah.
in person. Because this is what I always hear, and this is what I love. I'm not gonna lie, this is what I love seeing online. People will literally go, and they'll be like, "Oh my God, this is completely different than seeing this on Facebook." It's different
It is.
because size wise, like you're looking at something
Yeah,
here on a
yeah.
phone, but when you get to that
Yeah.
eco space and you see this 48 by 60
Yeah.
canvas
Yeah.
and the color and the vibrancy of the color, like
I know.
just seeing how you experienced at the Windsor Art
Oh,
Center.
yes, I did. I took a few pictures in front of the
Yeah,
pictures.
so like just to see people's experience with that, it that's compensation within itself.
Yeah.
Like at the Windsor Art Center, there was a Caucasian lady that literally was standing in front of a piece, and she just broke down crying.
Wow.
And she was like, I could literally hear the voice behind this piece. And I was like, wow. And all I could do was thank God, because I'm like, wow,
just-
Dad.
you
No,
just
but now
did
you
what
know
he
what's
told
crazy
you to do, though.
Correct. But here's the crazy part. There are pieces that I've actually painted that I was literally about to scrap. And God was like, leave it alone. And those would be the pieces that I hung that people would be like, oh my God. And I'm like, so that's why it has nothing to do with me. I'm just a vessel. I'm just an instrument. And that's why I'm growing out of comparing myself, because I know that my gift has a voice that God wants to speak through to the hearts of humanity.
Yeah.
And I respect that voice. If I spend my time wasting it trying to compare it to somebody else's voice, that's now a counterfeit.
Yeah. 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 Don't you get me to going. I'm serious. Is there anything else is there anything you would want to say to any young people, old folks out there, encouraging word? Your camera over there, would you want to say anything to?
So I think kind of like before, I tell people like this, it's the authenticity of your voice, your gift, and this is to the young, this is to the middle-aged, this is to the old. You have something that the world needs, right? And being able to give it to the world, that's what you're here for. That's what purpose is about, right? It's not about chasing money, right? It's not about being rich. It's not about being famous. If that's just like being wet when you jump in the water. You're gonna get, if you jump in the water, you're gonna get wet, right? But it's more so about you embracing your divine design and then sharing that with the world. Like through my life, I want young people, and what I want to annihilate is, you don't have to be a starving artist, right? And I'm saying that because I'm not a starving artist. By the grace of God, I came out the gate making money, but my thing was, I wasn't chasing money. I wasn't chasing views. I wasn't chasing likes. I wasn't chasing none of that. My thing is, I want you to know that, especially like in the creative realm, whether you're drawing, whether you're sculpting, whether you're painting, if you are doing something that you love, then the world gets to love what you do. Don't create for an audience. Let the audience love what you create.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think that's where a lot of people get it mixed up. So for me, I want to go into schools, you know, to tell young people, hey, if you love drawing, pursue that.
Yeah.
But don't think about it like this. I think a lot of times a kid loves drawing, loves art. They go to their parents, and the parents is like, no, you better find somewhere you can get a good job. You can get some good money. You know, because people look at the art realm as, well, it fluctuates. And yes, it does fluctuate. But then that means that you also have to do the work. You have to be a steward over your finances. You have to prioritize what you need to be doing if this is something that you want to pursue, you know, full time. Now, you may have to do something that you don't want to do until you can do what you want to do.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
But it doesn't mean that you just got to completely just push it to the edge. Like I tell people all the time, no, I wasn't going to go every facet of my life. In Hampton, I majored in architecture. I went back to school for graphic design, and then I went and got my master's in 2020 for user experience design. So I've always operated in a creative realm. You're not going to see me going, yeah, I want to become a professional basket weaver. You know, I mean, or something that's complete. I'm not going into law. I'm not designed for law. I'm designed to be a creative. So whatever you see me doing, it's going to have something to do with the creative realm, whether it's advertising, whether it's, you know, graphics, whether it's art, whether it's, you know, media, something of that nature, because that's what I know I've been designed for.
Yes.
But if you don't take the time to really embrace your design and you're looking to everybody else to figure out, you'll miss it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm so inspired by you. I know you since before you was born, probably. But I am so inspired by you every time I see you. I am so, I'm gonna get full here. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you so much.
And you know where you've come, what you've done, and the heart that you have for young people. You know, I'm just really touched by you, and just so proud. And I just hope everybody would just come out to the reception at Eco Space. Eco Space. I keep saying it wrong. Eco Space on 224 Farmington Avenue, and you're like my nephew. I know.
Most
Yeah,
definitely.
my nephew. I call you nephew when I email you. Again, I cannot say how much I'm proud of you and your lovely wife. I'm looking forward to seeing her, you know, and I just pray that God will continue to bless you in all that you do, because you have a heart for God. I know that.
I appreciate it, and I receive it, and it's such a blessing just to be back here. Like you said, like I just think back to, like, I can remember like yesterday being on, you know, Westbourne Parkway in Cornwall, you know, but just to see it come around full circle, you know, and like you said, just to look what God has done, not only in my life, but to and through my life, and I'm just as full as you are, because I'm just like, I thank God every morning, like, thank you, Lord, just for choosing me and using me for your glory, you know,
So keep on inspiring people. Keep on doing what you're doing, you know, because you're certainly a light, you know, in this dark world. There's some little lights out here, and you are a light, and I'm so proud of you, and I'm so happy that you took the time to come out and sit with me and talk with me for a few minutes.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Okay, so I love it, and thank you so much. Love you. You know, you already know that. So to the Win TV audience, we always people love to pass bad things around, but this is something that's so inspiring for young people, old folks, anybody that know that if you have a desire and you believe that you can do whatever you want to do. So I really thank you guys for watching, and I'm asking you to share this video, and I will see you next time. Thank you so much.